Incredible afternoon, everyone. Incredible afternoon. How are you guys doing? Um, and if you're on all coasts other than time zones other than Eastern, incredible morning to you. All right. Let me go ahead and share this out. And if you guys would be so kind to share it out as well, if you guys can. Be sure to share out this broadcast. All righty, there we go. I'm all shared out. Make sure that you guys share out as well. All righty, I'm not sure who gave us the angry face, but okay, it's all right. How are you guys doing this morning? Or I'm sorry, this afternoon. Hello, everyone. I am Shakia, the professor of Soloholics Anonymous, Honestly Speaking, HS Sync 365, and 365 Creative Academy. I do live videos like this to help you guys in all things creative, from just the hobby side as well as the business side. Today is Thursday, so it's a day where I like to talk business. So, in this session, from now on, we're going to call it, let's talk about it. I do my creative business sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hold on one second. Let's go ahead and adjust this over just a little bit. There we go. So I normally do my creative business sessions every other Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday is like really my let's really dive into this kind of day. Um, for my creative business program, we normally do check-ins on Tuesdays, and then the Thursday sessions we go in. And today we are talking about profit by the numbers in my creative business session. So I wanted to kind of, come on and do a general talk about whether or not there is truly profit to be made in the creative business, or some of you like to call it the crafting business. Whether you are selling products that are handmade and like they are you're mass producing or bulk producing, should I say, products, or if you are making customized and personalized items, or if you are someone that wants to sell like products and blanks. whether it is for sublimation, if you're selling things to crafters, like, you found your own cardstock, glue sticks, glue guns, regular, just paper glue, rhinestones, hot fix stones. There's so many products that you can get into if you want to purchase that minimum quantity from vendors overseas and be able to sell them to people stateside and make a profit from it. So there's money in that. Or if you have services such as doing classes, if you are someone who's great at social media and you want to start a business where you are going to help other creative businesses who maybe struggle with social media. Maybe you have some posted things that you can sell, or you can go in and arrange like so they don't have to think about it. Maybe they're not great at designing, but they're great at making their products. They need someone to make their thumbnails, descriptions, and just from someone who understands this business. There's a lot of money to be made. Oh, also digital products also. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and whether or not there's truly money to be made in this creative business. If this is something that you are interested in, stick around. Make sure that you hit the like button now so that you don't get into this and be getting all this good old knowledge and forget to show support and hit the like button. Also, make sure that you subscribe if you are watching over on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I would greatly appreciate if you would also go to our YouTube channel, 365 Creative Academy, and make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell over there as well. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by just saying hello to a few people. She says, your fancy this afternoon. Actually, I've been doing that for a while now with the sound, just so that I can go out and share. But good morning to you. Incredible morning. Hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. She says, thank you. Yes, I'm on Central Standard Time. Incredible morning to you. Incredible morning to you. Thank you so very much. And incredible morning to you as well. Incredible morning to you also. All right. I'm going to wait a little minute. If you're watching the playback of this, you should jump ahead probably around like 10 minutes or so. That's where I'll really get into like the nitty gritty of this. This is a live broadcast. So I do have to wait for my audience to build and for Facebook to send out notifications and people to see the post that I just shared and that others are sharing. So whenever you're watching my content and it is a playback of a live, do understand that in the beginning, it's going to be some talk and some discussion because we have to build our audience. I've, seen your comments that say, why does it take too long to get into this? Again, this is not pre-recorded. This is live. All right. So while we're waiting for all of the social media locations to send out the notification and get you guys on here, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming sessions that we have available this week. And then we do have some sessions that are going to happen in March for graduation projects. And, especially if you're doing sublimation, we're going to also go over some things like if you're doing heat transfer vinyl and stuff like that. On our website, hsinc365.com. Let me just get there real quick. There we go. www.hsinc365.com. Here's where you will find not only our incredible products, we sell sublimation ink, pigment ink, sublimation paper that allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. We are that change the game sublimation paper company that, we informed you guys that you don't have to sublimate at 400 degrees in 60 seconds. That was an industry standard that a lot of people use, but we discovered that we are actually over sublimating when we press at such a high temperature and for such a long time, especially when you're using good quality substrates. You really don't have to sublimate and cook it for that long. So check out our website. All orders in before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time go out the exact same day. All right. Also on the site is where you will find our classes that you can sign up for. This week, there are 2 classes that you can sign up for. Tonight is the Profit by the Number session. It is a part of my creative business program. And like I said, I meet with them monthly, but I am opening up this session to others. You guys can attend, just this one session. There's always a lot of great information in it. It lasts about an hour to 2 hours, depending on how many questions and things are asked during the session. So you can sign up for that, as well as our Submation for Beginners and Business session that will take place on Saturday. With that one, we're going to go over everything that you need for submation, talk about using it in business and how you can use it to start a business, grow your business, or add to your current business that you may have thought like, oh, is this for me? I actually had a wonderful conversation with a photographer. And for him, it's like he wanted to get into this so that he can take his offerings when he goes to take his pictures to the next level and be able to provide quicker things that are very quality, but he can produce them a lot faster with sublimation compared to some of the other methods. So do know that even in other industries, you can use sublimation for your business. Even if you have no desire to sell any actual sublimation products, it's good to get into sublimation for your own personal business because you can create a lot of your very own promotional items yourself with sublimation and never have to actually sell anything to outside clients. All right. So we do have Submation for Beginners and Business, and Profit by the Numbers is tonight. This one is on Saturday. With the Submation for Beginners and Business, if you purchase any of our 8.5 by 14 or 11 by 17 paper, you have to do it now. So if you purchased it, like let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that does not apply, or last week. So you would have to purchase from today until Saturday a pack of 8.5 by 14 or 11 by 17 paper. Make sure that you add the paper and the class to your cart and use the code 365 sub B 4B. So that is 365 sub B. I'm sorry, yeah, sub 4B. I said B 4. Yeah. 365 sub the number 4B. So that's sub for business or sub for beginners. All right. If you have to add one pack, at least one pack of paper, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, and the class. It does not apply to the rolls or anything like that. All right. And if you do that, you can attend that class for free 99. Or if you already have paper, you're stocked up on your HS ink, but maybe you just need a little bit more help with understanding, like, how your printers work and all of that. It's a great class to join. It's a lot of information within that particular session, and that is 3365, 365. And the same thing for the Profit by the Number session tonight. It is 3365 to attend. And I'm telling you, our Profit by the Number session will have you looking at your business in a whole new light and ready to really, really maximize your profit. So consider signing up for one of those sessions. All right. And again, you can find them over at hsinc365.com. All right. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into this. All right. So we're going to talk about it. Is there really money to be made in this creative business, whether you have services or products? And the short answer to it is yes. And the long answer to it is no, depending on your approach to it. Many people will develop their skills and they will become great at something. And then, through them building on their skills, sharing it with others, giving things as gifts, maybe getting money here and there, someone just offering up, it's like, this is amazing. Can you make this for me? Just because money exchanges hands for something that you are great at does not mean that you have a business. That is one of the biggest misconceptions of all of this, is that at the moment you start taking money from it, it is a business. There is so much more to running a business than just creating the product or providing the service. Everything from customer service, understanding how to properly take the orders, especially when you have an influx of them, being able to order your materials and supplies the right way to where you can maximize your profit. As long as you continue to buy things retail as a business, your profit margins are going to be very low. You then have to figure out ways to increase that profit margin. And that will come sometimes with buying things wholesale or in bulk or direct from manufacturers or distributors overseas, and you're basically importing them in. The not say downside of that, but the part that most people don't like when it comes to that is you are required to buy things in bulk. You're required to have, most of them have a MOQ, which is a minimum order quantity. So you're going to have to put up a lot of money up front for money that technically has not been made yet, unless you do things like I suggested to them in my check-in session, do a pre-sale. But usually people will buy these things, up front, no guarantee that they're really, really going to move. But once they do move and you sell them, the profit that you make on those items is much higher than buying them one by one or a few at a time from a retail location. Even when you're buying from places that I'm an affiliate for, Johnson's Plastics Plus. I also have a discount code for them, 9PKD6 inside my link tree that's there. If you scroll down to places for vinyl and all those different things, the code is listed there. We also have like Heat Transfer Warehouse is another place that you can get supplies from. When you're ordering from places like this, you're still paying a premium. Is it it kind of comes off as like wholesale. They have options to where you buy more things, and, you will save, but it really is kind of sort of like retail. And depending on what stage you're at in your business, if you're to a point to where you have back to back to back back to back to back orders, I mean, you're pumping them out. If you can get through a case of tumblers in 2 days, even one day, it's not going to be very profitable for you to continue to buy even from sources like that, or to continue to buy from Amazon or some of the startup businesses that are selling blanks. We want to support, small businesses that look like us and look like ours, like look like us. In fact, they're small and they want that support too over the big box or the bigger companies. But a lot of the times, unfortunately, most of these startup businesses and groups and things that sell blanks aren't really equipped to service that company that's like, okay, I'm pumping out, I'm pumping out, I'm pumping out. And even the Johnson's Plastics of them all, the Heat Transfer Warehouse, Stainless Steel Depot, they may not be your best option. You may need to start looking overseas and sourcing them yourself, not to become a vendor, because that then becomes a whole nother business that you have to maintain. And you're probably just barely, keeping up with all of the orders that you have for your regular business. Just because you order things overseas does not mean that you instantly need to become a blank spender. Make it work for you and your business in helping you to maximize your profit. All right. So that's one of the ways, that you can make more money is buying in bulk, buying direct from manufacturers and paying more on the front end, or paying for it up front. And then as you sell it, you're able to maximize your profit, or, gain a higher profit margin because you paid less for the item. All right. So that's one of the ways. One of the other ways is um, how many things you offer, right? Most people will tell you the more things you have to offer, the more you're going to profit. You want to have all of these streams of income, right? Kind of true, but not true, right? When you have so many items, right, and you don't have a defined top seller, something that you are known for selling, you will spend a lot of money on items that just aren't moving. So if you've paid the money out for them and they aren't moving, you're not making money off of them. So, one of the ways to make sure that you can actually make money in this is maybe start off with one or two products, or sticking to creating products for maybe one or two. Um, I don't want to say industries or kind of like genres. I'll break that down a little bit further right after this thought, right? So if you can focus on like and kind of have tunnel vision as you're building and growing, does that mean that you're going to stay like this forever? No. It's in your building and growing as you are coming into your own in how you design, how you operate business. If you have all these different things going on and you're trying to keep all of these creative ideas in your head and get them out, it's going to stress you out. Like, take it from me, it will stress you out. But if you kind of have a little bit of tunnel vision, I know that's like hard to think about. You're like, well, I want to do this, I'm gonna do that. I see this person doing this person doing that. I saw this person in this group, and oh my God, I think they're so successful. The word there is think. People only show you a snapshot of what they want you to see on social media. When they're going and they're posting tumblers or they're posting shirts, they're posting their candles, posting their soaps, they might be working on their skills and perfecting them. There's no guarantee that those were from actual sales. They might be in the developmental stage of their business and they're just sharing with you all the wonderful things that they have learned to make, but they probably have made not 1 cent on it. We don't know everyone's business. So don't always look at pictures and videos on social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and think someone is just killing the game because you see a lot, like you see them constantly posting the things that they are making. Because you don't know if they're in the developmental stage. Someone said, so true. All right. So if you're starting out, focus on a few things. That way, you're only spending money on the things that you absolutely need, and you're not spending money on unnecessary stuff. So you can now really get a hang of and really be able to see where your money is going and the money that you're actually making. The more items that you add, you give people like more items to order. The other part that affects your profit is how do you get those items to them, especially if you're shipping things out. So if they order, you're kind of used to someone just ordering like onesies and twosies of this. Now you add these other things. Have you thought about how you're going to ship them out? We just placed another really, really big order for boxes, and the number of boxes that we've had to even add now because we have the rolls back in and we have things, and people are starting to create, they're ordering more and more stuff that we have. We now have to get bigger boxes. We have to test out different boxes. So that becomes a whole other thing in of itself, is trying to figure out how to get the product to our clients the best way, where it's also going to help our bottom line. Because if we always have to send them in separate boxes, we end up taking a hit on shipping if the shipping costs really only calculate as if we're putting it in one box. You have to think about things like that as well when it comes to your business and what it is that you're offering. All the things that you offer, do you know how you're going to ship them out? So that's like 2 and 3. How to, you can maximize your profit if you kind of have a little tunnel vision and not be all over the place, because you can really, really like sit down, crunch out those numbers, and know what it's going to take to reach those numbers. The next part of it is equipment. A lot of us start off with crafting crafting quality equipment, whether it's a Silhouette Cameo, a Cricut, it is a small format printer. It's one that you have converted over or transformed into a printer that it wasn't originally intended for, whether it is for sublimation, if it is for DTF, if it is for eco solvent ink. Then you may have a small format press. So you're going to have to do things in sections compared to having a really big press to be able to press it all at one time. So your equipment will determine if you're profitable or not as well. When you're in your infancy stage of this and you have the smaller cutters, you have smaller printers and heat presses, it may seem like you are doing a lot of work and not seeing the not really seeing the harvest of the seed that you have planted in your business. You're not seeing the harvest of it or truly seeing it because you're just like, it's taking me too long. I can only do so many jobs, so I can't really take on more orders. That is the name of the game in this. You have to understand what stage you are in your business. In the beginning, the money is not going to be like super, 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 super great, right? You're going to have to build and profit by the numbers. I teach that it's not just about money and like how much you're selling items for. Your profits might increase once you increase the number of machines that you have. You increase the model number that you have. So you're going from a small format printer to a large format printer. You're going from a 15 by 15. Maybe then your next step is to go to a 16 by 20. Then you go to the big boys that's over 30 inches wide or long. So those numbers will change, which will in turn make it to where your profits will change because you'll be able to do things more efficiently and effectively. So that's where we are. Number 4, your equipment and how much you actually have. May seem like you're not making a lot of money, like I said, in this stage, but as you grow, this is the time with your smaller equipment for you to really, really learn and master your skills in whatever it is that you're going to do. If it's you having to go to this, you're doing a lot of, let's say, chip bags and things like that. You know, you're going and having to maybe buy uh, your glue sticks. Right now you're buying it by the single bag. You're not ready to go and buy a big box or a big case of glue sticks. Maybe you have a little small heat gun, a glue gun that you're using, and you got to keep waiting for that thing to heat back up so that your glue don't get all hard so you can close it up. All right, so then eventually you can get a bigger glue gun and maybe even have 2 of them going at the same time. That way, if one does cool down, you got the backup. Or it might be you don't use the glue and you're using adhesive tape. All right, so before you weren't thinking about it, you just have your adhesive tape, you're putting it on there, you're cutting and all that stuff. Now, let's invest in some tape dispensers. It might be your workspace. You're trying to work out of this really, really, really small space. So, in order to help you be more efficient, it might be time to look into getting a bigger desk. Figuring out, if you have a small work area in your home, what can you get to where you can work on it and then maybe put it away. But that might cost you some money to get a table like that, but it's going to make it to where you're more efficient and you can either pay that off, faster, and it's going to be a great return on your investment. What does your working conditions look like? Okay. That is something else that will determine how your profit margins are. Most people don't talk about these things when it comes to understanding your profit. They just make it seem like it's okay. You're going to take your, if you pay this for this, you're going to times it times 3. You're going to use this pricing calculator and do all of those different things. And it's always just about the money. There's so much more to this than just the money. Your working environment, how you get, your products, how are you how are you capturing those sales? Because if you have a website or if you're using PayPal, most things that people don't really kind of consider are their merchant fees. And when you have to pay out those payout fees for PayPal or any merchant that you're using. Everyone likes to talk about using Sezzle. Oh, it's going to make it to where they're going to buy more and all this stuff. I am kind of a little upset because I'm trying to figure out where to set the threshold. I've seen it on some where I have an item that is, let's say, 10 bucks, right? Now, most you would think that most people would not want to use Sezzle for something that's 10 bucks, but let's say that they do. Sezzle charges me 6%. 6. So from that item, depending on how much profit margin I'm making from that, I have my overhead for my business, the packaging and all that stuff, which I mean, I kind of figure that in there. But then it's not a regular merchant fee of like 1.9%, 2.6%. We're talking 6% that I am going to lose for somebody else to be able to afford to pay it and break it up into sections. We have to think about that. Although it might seem great to add all of these buy now, pay later things to your site, they can affect your overall profit margin because that takes out more than regular processing, regular credit card or merchant processing fees like PayPal or just like your regular credit cards. So we have to think about those things as well. It's so much more than just your labor and just your materials that you are using when it comes to understanding your profit margin. So, is there money to be made in this? Yes. This is not a multi-thousand-dollar business. It's not a multi-million-dollar business. And doing creative things and handmade items and machine assisted items, because people are like, oh, you just put in your candy machine, or you just print it out. That is machine assisted. We still have to do a lot of work as creatives. So in this, as a collective, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There are so many of us, not just in this country, but around the world, that do this. So there is money to be made. And once you kind of get a hold of certain things, the real money comes in as you grow and expand, and you're able to do things on a bigger scale, right? That's when those six figures, those seven figures, those eight figures come in, when you are truly a company. You are a business at that point. Most of us kind of confuse what a business is because we think as long as we make items and we collect money for it, it's a business. But we have no understanding of customer service, how to ship things out, how to run our business more efficiently. And that's where people like me come in the fact that I've done business in so many different industries. I can talk to you from where you are, in whatever stage you are in your business, and for a lot of different industries, because I've worked in a lot of different industries. So I do consider myself to be uh, uh, a rare commodity in this creative business because I'm not one sided in what I discuss and what I try and teach you guys and help guide you guys for your business. All right. If there are any questions for me, I will field a few of them because we are at about 33 minutes. I did not want this to be too long. I just kind of want to give you guys some, some things and some insight on your business, and really taking a look at it and writing some things down on where you can make adjustments to maximize your profit. And if you would like to hear more about that, I invite you guys to go to my website and sign up for the Profit by the Number session tonight, or our complete creative business program, which is now available for just $236.50. 365. Y'all know that's all that branding stuff that's in there. So if you have any questions for me, go ahead and drop them because I've done a lot of talking to you, but now I want to talk and discuss these things with you. So let's talk about it. And if you have any questions or any feedback, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. We'll do this for maybe a good 10 minutes or so, and then I will let you guys go on about your day and enjoy the rest of your lunch if you're on lunch right now. She says, wow, Sezzle percentage. Wow. Yeah, definitely need to set a limit. Yep. Was this beneficial to you guys? If it was, let me know. Y'all got kind of quiet on me in the comment section. So if this was beneficial for you, hopefully you have given this video a thumbs up. or you have also shared this video out on your page, tag someone in it, share it out in a group where you see these types of questions come up often. I actually started rearranging my living room to take my workspace there instead of my bedroom. I believe I will get more done that way. And sometimes that's the sacrifice that you're going to have to make. And people have, when your when family and friends come to your house, and it's like, dude, why do you have all this stuff in your front room? Look, right now, I'm running a business. You either go copper squat on this crate and pass me a glue gun, or leave me be so I can create, because right now this is where I am starting at. So may have to give up my bedroom and be able to have more space. I can worry about getting a real living room once my business is off the ground. But it's okay. As a creative, most people say, my husband hates it. Like when I was like, I used to have stuff everywhere. I'm preparing for like 3 or 4 parties at a time. There's stuff everywhere. He hated it. It's still like that now sometimes, but it's all a part of the business. And eventually we won't be, our business won't be in this space at all. But we have to start here and build. And I have to kind of take over some space. I'll bit my lip. Take over some spaces to be able to get to, be able to reach that ultimate goal of having a dedicated workspace. And I'm not going to necessarily call it a storefront, because there are a lot of costs associated with that. Can it be very beneficial to you to have a storefront, especially if you're in a location where people can kind of come in, they see you, and maybe they don't buy, they kind of just know that you're there. It can be, beneficial to your business. But on those really slow moments, you're gonna wonder, like, whether you make a sale or not, that entire month, that rent is still due. That electricity bill is still due. That water bill is still due. That internet bill, so that you can go ahead and process your credit cards and process your payments, it's still due. But if you kind of start off small, there are like office spaces that you can rent out and just kind of have that be your workspace. It can be as messy or as clean if you're a clean crafter or a clean creator. It can be as messy or as organized as you want it to be, but it will take you out of your home once you want your home back. I kind of do want my home back. It's a lot of stuff here. Such truth in all of this information. Truth, you have to start somewhere. All right. So it doesn't look like there was any questions. So either I left you a lot to kind of chew on and think about, or maybe you're going to save your questions because you're going to join me tonight for Profit by the Numbers, or you're going to discuss your sublimation business in our sublimation for beginners and business, because you guys are quiet here now. I'm giving you guys an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. We are at about 38 minutes now. So around like 45 minutes, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. What process do I use to price my items? Well, I have two different sets of items. I have items that are ready to ship. And then I also offer some customized, well, actually I have three. And then I have my classes. So for me, I have three different models when it comes to pricing. For my classes, a lot of it is based off of value. It's knowing my core audience and who I'm speaking to, and kind of getting and knowing a feel of like where they're willing to kind of spend money at, and then pricing it based off of my perceived value of it and knowing what I bring to the table. So I don't really have like a set chart or calculator we follow for that. Then when it comes to custom items, you got to kind of join my Profit by the Number to get the full scope. I even offer my students in my creative business program a pricing calculator to help them. But just to let you know a little bit of one of the ways that you can price, I always tell them to take their raw material costs and try to account for at least 3 to 4 times the amount for um like to basically purchase the original item. You want to be able to then double your order the next time. If you have any mistakes and for sales, you want to kind of account for that in your pricing. And then your actual profit, because all of these things are not profit. The first three, like once you multiply by three, the first three of those, that's not profit because you had to buy the item. So when you're selling it, you're covering buying it. And then when you go back to buy more, you're spending that money. So that's not really a true profit for you to be able to pay your personal bills. When you're kind of figuring in for your sales and like a little mishap here or there, that's not profit because once you go and put something on sale, you're now taking away the profit that you would have made. So that really isn't profit. So if you just do 3 times the amount, you ain't made no money, right? So at least one more for that. Then it's a lot of like factors as far as if you're designing. The way I design might be different from how you design. You may be one to where you're just going to go and purchase a file. It may cost you $3. Let's say from that $3 investment, you sold, 10 of that item. So you've made like, you're breaking that up across like 10 items. So that one file only comes out to a couple of cents, right? But for me, if I go and it wasn't just a click of a button to buy something in 2 seconds and I made 10 items from it, I'm sitting down and I am designing for 30 minutes to an hour. If they're giving me a lot of pictures and I'm customizing it, I have to customize colors and this, that, and the third. So now I have to account for my design fee, right? Then it depends on your overhead. Are you still working from home? Do you have a commercial space or like an office space? You have to pay for your electricity separate. Are you accounting for part of, your heat presses, your computer, your glue guns? If you make candles, your double boiler. If you make treats using your stove, if you have a gas stove, you accounted for those things that you're using for business because your bill for your house is going to be, whatever that bill is, but your business is contributing to those costs. Are you taking that out? So what is your overhead for all of those things? When it comes to uh, um, determining your boxes or bag poly mailers, are you figuring that in? All of those things, your like your merchant fees, are you figuring those in? So you have to account for all of those things before you kind of, put a number on it. If you're doing a lot of local sales, maybe cash transactions, you can pass those, I guess I'll say like savings onto your customer, because if you don't have to worry about merchant fees, if you don't have to worry about, a lot of um, uh, carrier proof packaging, and you can kind of give it to them maybe in just smaller bags or inexpensive bags. So now you don't have to account for the more expensive ones, so you can kind of offer them at a little bit lower rate because it's local. There are so many factors for that, and this is all then like just like the business side, other than maybe your design fee, you haven't gotten paid yet, right? So what is your labor? Are you someone who's very skilled to where you're going to warrant those really high wages per hour? Or are you like someone that comes into a business brand new, which as creatives, yeah, you're doing it's taking a lot of work, but you're not really skilled. Like, let's be very honest with ourselves and where we are as far as our skill level. How many mistakes, rookie mistakes, are we making? So should you go and be paid an hourly rate like a supervisor or a manager, or a salary like a manager? Or should you kind of keep it maybe at like a minimum wage if you were to hire somebody to do certain things? Would you be paying them $25, $30 an hour, or would it be a more reasonable range? So you have to then figure those things out. You have to know who you are marketing to. We do a lot of things to where by the time you add up all of your that you need, you're taking into account your expertise and the time that it takes, the equipment that you had to buy. If your demographic that you're trying to market to doesn't value that, and they don't have this like, extra income, and they're not one that like will spend and drop some money on like a custom shirt, your prices will never, you'll never feel like you're making a profit because um, you're marketing items that's outside of their price range to these people. So you have to make your products work for those who you are marketing to. You may not be able to go and do the really fancy stuff. You may have to give them the bare minimum. Meet your clients where they are. If you want clients that's going to spend more money, then you're going to have to do some things to be able to reach clients that are going to spend more money. But if you're just wanting those, like, your friends on your page, and you're not really spending any money on real marketing stuff to attract them, you have to price it and provide products and services for those in the demographic that you want to target. Then the last one, is like our ready to ship products. And for that one, I don't really have to worry about like the labor part or design fee and all of those things. It's priced based off of a certain percentage, a certain profit margin for those, because we're not really doing any work for it other than just taking it, pulling it off a shelf, putting it in a box. So we're accounting for the actual items, our boxes that we're putting it in, poly mailers, anything else as far as stickers and the tape and stuff like that. So it's a different type of pricing structure for that one, because our goal is to reach a certain profit margin. But you also can kind of look at the industry. A lot of people tell you, look at your competitors, do this, do that. But we're all in different states. We're all targeting different people. So you can't always go by that. You have to be okay with where you are and how much work you're going to put in. I'm okay. And we are okay as a company with dropping our prices, because I'm going to do everything in my power. If it's getting on every single day to talk about my products and be able to reach more people, I'm more about selling more to reach the goal versus having it at a higher price and only doing minimum work to be able to reach the same goal. Your goals, your purpose will also help you determine your prices. Um, Do I sell the sample paper in bulk? No, I do not. If you want it in bulk, then you're basically going to purchase a pack, and then you can break it up. But no, we don't sell the sample packs in bulk, because at that point you are buying a full pack of paper. I feel like I don't make enough profit. It's a lot of factors in that. I'm trying to make a living selling stickers. So many people sell so cheaply. How do you stand out and make a good living? You can't go off of what someone else sells, and what you consider to be cheaply. For them, you don't know what they're doing. So they might be able to sell it at a lower price, but you don't know how they're getting their paper, how they're getting their ink. Are they buying in bulk? Maybe they're working from home. Maybe they have invested in a larger machine to where they can pump out more, and their costs are a lot lower than yours, right? So it might seem cheap to you, but once you go and how you're doing yours and how they're doing theirs, you probably will end up with the same profit margin, with you feel like you have to go higher because they have a more effective and efficient process. So you can't really go off of that. If you feel like they're selling theirs cheap, then find a different market than who they are marketing to. Find the person, or find the tribe of people who appreciate your item. What is about your stickers that makes them, stand out? Are you a custom, or an artist to where you are creating customized items that's truly one of a kind? If it's just regular basic stuff, then you're just taking a clip art and you're just going and making a sticker, or if you're taking someone's ready-made logo and then you're just making a sticker from it, are you priced wrong because you are treating every job the exact same way and you're not putting in the effort? Sometimes when you are not making the profit that you desire, it's probably because of your business practices. You're going to have to take a look at all of that. Do I put my classes, blanks, and customs on the same site? For me, customs, no. My customs are totally on a different site. I really actually don't even have a site for customs. I have a site for they're not custom, it's a product line for us, our HS Ink designs, where we let the ink speak, where we encourage you to let the ink speak for you. That's where my Black Pledge is, my blueprint line, and my Be Advised, I'm an Extraordinary Brown Girl and Cocoa Queen is. So they are totally separate. For a lot of my customs, I don't have a website. I actually don't really like the idea of a website for that. I am one where I like to communicate with my customers. I like to get a feel of what they want. And if they're just going to a site just to place an order, I don't get that. I like to have consultations with my customers because I truly create custom and personalized items. Now, if it was just for, let's say I had a shirt that was I'm pushing like the same Black history design. That's not it's custom, but it's not personalized, right? So I can have something like that on the site, and hey, you like this shirt, you can go and buy it. It's technically ready to ship. I don't have to do anything to it. I can just either print it out, press it, or take a transfer and press it. Totally different industry than having to go in and customize and design and personalize something. So it's a little bit different. But as far as my classes, my ink and paper, and digital designs, all of those are for creatives who are utilizing these resources for their hobbies and their business. So it all speaks to the same client. So I have all of those things mixed. But my HS Ink designs and my HS Ink prints are two totally separate entities. How do you do the research to find out who your customer base is? Like, where would you go to figure out? Who do you sell to? Who do you want to sell to? Who do you want to be your target audience? I was telling my sister, she has the perfect like target audience because she's really, really big. And she knows a lot of people in the youth sports because she has her children in it. She's been a coach. She knows a lot of people within this space. So she can sell to a lot of them, even if it's not just for the sports items like for cheer and football and track and all of those things, because she has access to them when she makes the cheer and the football and the track stuff. And she goes and she does that extra mile, like for her cheerleaders. Oh, wait, Keisha, you can do this, you can do that. So then they start to ask her about other items. And she knows their buying habits. We have a certain team to where, look, their parents are buying in and everything. Like they are these super fan parents. Like, they want to go and represent when they go to a different park. Look, we want to have on everything. Like, we're going to let y'all know we coming through, and they spend money. So it's not a hard sell sometimes when you're selling to those types of parents. And then when it comes to their kids for birthdays, they kind of have that same mentality. So she's able to sell to them a lot easier. What type of client are you looking for? So there's no research in finding out who your target audience is. You have to determine who you're going to target. Are you going to target and do you want to provide? And actually, you know what? So it all depends on how you look at it. I don't like the word target because it seems like, like it can have a negative connotation to it, right? So who is your ideal customer? What is your purpose in what you're doing, right? When I was doing event planning, could I have gone and got like these major clients and stuff like that? I probably could have. I know I could have. But there are parents who would like for their child to have a very nice party as well. They are a single mom, sometimes single dads, to where people say, oh, well, they want DIY price. They better DIY it themselves and stuff like that. Like, I hated that, right? Because I've never been that parent that was like a single parent, but I've seen my cousins. That's how I started because I had a cousin that had a baby young. And for me, I was very creative and I wanted their child to be just as happy and like excited about their party as someone whose parent had extra money to put towards a party. So I was never charging a large amount. Others will look at it as, oh, I'm undercutting them. No, it's not that. I know my purpose. I know who I got into this to who I got into this to serve. And it might be a parent who, because she's working two or three jobs, when is she going to have the time to DIY anything? But because she's working her butt off, does her child not deserve to have a really nice party? Now, am I going to give you the world and all this? You're going to have Ferris wheels and all that stuff at your party. If you can't afford certain things like that, no. But in whatever that I could, giving, a nice centerpiece, party favors, being able to do basic balloon columns to where that kid is so happy. Their friends had a great time working with them to figure out, little things that they could do to kind of offset certain costs. That was my purpose. So somebody else on the outside looking in who doesn't understand what my purpose is and who my ideal client was, they're gonna think, oh, how in the heck she charges so cheap for this? I can't make any money. Is it I felt like I still made fairly good money and I was satisfied in my purpose. So you have to be satisfied in your purpose and whatever profit margin. So I could go and have, and let's say with somebody else and how they set their prices, they may have had to do, let's say, just two parties, let's say four parties a month, one every weekend, right? For the entire year to meet a certain number. Well, because I chose a different type of client, and with the way I made things, I was able to kind of repurpose certain things. I might be able to, or I would have to service maybe double that, or at least like every other week, I'm going to have to be doing two parties at a time, three parties at a time to be able to reach that same number where somebody else, because they're doing so much more like grand stuff, they can only really handle one client at a time. You have to know who your ideal client is. There is no research in that. Maybe you want to, only serve people in the medical field. You're doing everything for teachers. Like I know, because one of my teacher friends on here, and she said that would be great if there was someone that had like different packages that we can buy to decorate our doors, decorate our bulletin boards. Black History Month came around. I know Princess Diamond from V Lions Techmatics. She did this amazing door based off of like HBCUs and the Divine Nine. Like it was like a wall next to it. So let's say as a teacher, they may not have those creative juices, right? They're social studies teachers or a history teacher. They're not thinking about really being creative. But what if there was a business that catered to teachers to be able to decorate their doors for different occasions, just decorate their classrooms, provide learning material? You're going to get that from, different sites. Why can't you be the site that will create that? And maybe now you're creating it all by hand, individual, right? But then you have that really, really great seller, and then you now have that mass produced. So those are now things that you don't have to worry about. You see how your business can grow. You're going to start up, put in a lot of legwork, but eventually you might have something that you can mass produce and be able to just sell that item. Make sense? Your designs are awesome. Thank you. All right, we're at an hour. I see all of your questions here, but I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. Let me see. When your price is more than the average that others are charging, do you drop your price? And what's the, oh, heck no. Because you have to know who your audience is. Now, if you're the person the people who you're targeting, or who you're who's able to see your items, the people who get to put their eyes on your business, if they're not biting at it, then you're going to have to make an adjustment, either to drop profits and drop your price and basically lower your profit margin so that you can actually meet your budget, or you're going to have to put in the work to put yourself in a position where a different demographic now becomes aware of your business. What did you say? Wait, what do you say to a creative doing mostly vinyl? What's your advice to incorporate sublimation? Why do you feel like you need to incorporate sublimation? Vinyl is actually my preferred method of doing things. What is it that makes you feel like you need to? Is it requests that you've had? Is it something that you feel like will complement what you do as vinyl, or is it you're just wanting to replace it altogether, because there are going to be certain things that you cannot do with sublimation that you can do with vinyl. And you may end up still going to vinyl for colored shirt, cotton shirts. What is it that your customers come to you for? Is it more of like colored cotton shirts? Because if they don't like polyester shirts and don't like white shirts, you're never going to be able to sell them on it. Or, are you doing it to create like non-shirt items? What is the like what purpose, or what area of demand would it serve in your business? If there is a request and a demand for it, figure out how to add it. But there is no need to. Vinyl is a really good business. I know sign companies, most times when they're doing doors and for businesses, it's straight vinyl. There's money in it. It's all in how you like the process that you're taking and what you're doing to make money from it. I used to do vehicles. I've done glass windows, all vinyl. I've done helmet decals. I've done car decals, all from vinyl. I did plenty of cups, all from vinyl, and made great money from it. I love vinyl. So I'm not one to where I'm like, sublimation is the answer to it all. Do I sell sublimation ink and paper? I sure do. Because I was thrown into this world by Ebony Crawford. I'm going to always go back to her. And I'm great at it. I'm great at instructing people on it. Um, and it was something that was a natural progression for us. But I like vinyl. I actually prefer vinyl. Hey, I was just talking about you. All right. So I see some other questions. We are at an hour, guys. I know that you guys are probably, you need those questions answered. Consider joining me tonight, or joining my creative business program, and we can address those questions in our check-in sessions, or save them for the next time I do a Q&A on business. So join me again next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and let's talk about it. And we'll talk about a different subject each and every week. Don't forget to visit our website, excuse me, 365.com. Again, that is HS Inc. And where are you? Oh my gosh. Where'd you go? Where did you go? Oh, there you go. HSinc365.com. This is where you can pick up our products like sublimation paper. Here is where you can sign up for the Profit by the Number session tonight, where we're going to take a deeper dive. Now, is this going to answer all of your questions? Not, maybe not, because I do a Profit by the Number session every single month. So with my students, we have a little bit more time. We don't have to try and get all of it and try and perfect their business in one session. One session is never going to help you master your business. It's just not possible, right? But little by little, you can get different, pick up on different things, learn to make different adjustments for your business. So Profit by the Numbers is tonight at 6:30 p.m. This is a one-time, access to our program. So this will not get you access to everything for the month, but it will get you access to this. I think this is probably one of the most, my Thursdays are always great. Last Thursday, or the last session, we did product staging. And that was amazing. The feedback I've gotten from that, and to see how some people have changed how they do things and how they're taking their pictures, I'm like a proud mama. So Profit by the Numbers, join me tonight. We'll take a deeper dive into breaking down some of the things that I talked about now. And if you're into, sublimation, consider my Sublimation for Beginners and Business session. That's on Saturday, the 19th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can attend the class for free. All you have to do is purchase a pack of 8.5 by 14 or 11 by 17 paper. Add that to your cart, add the class to your cart, and use the code 365 sub 4B, so for beginners or for business, and you can attend the class for free. Already stocked up. Don't worry about it. The class is priced affordably, and it's a lot of information. I've had people who are veterans in this still say, dang, I didn't even know that. I learned so much, and I've been doing this for years. The way that my mind works, the information I bring to you, I guarantee you it is totally different than the way you have received it from anyone else. And you guys can see that from my live video. So just imagine when I am in my element. Hey, I do like smaller, intimate sessions. I don't have hundreds and hundreds of people so that I can connect with you and answer as many questions as I can. So consider attending one of my live classes. Next month, it's going to be all geared towards graduation and preparing for that. Classes for those who want to do sublimation and those who are just doing vinyl. I did yard signs in vinyl and I still made amazing money. Everything did not have to be printed. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you sign up for updates for our upcoming classes, so that you can decide what classes will work best for you in this stage of your business. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.